Do you have that one great travel buddy? One that accompanies you on every trip, shares all your best moments, and remembers all the details of those wonderful experiences you've had? Well, I do, and it's this little guy, my beloved Sony a7M1. Our story began during my internship in San Francisco. While overseas, I wanted a camera that could capture my travel moments and record all the experiences I would have had. Very fortunately, my colleague Dan happened to have one that she was willing to part with. As a broke student, I was extremely grateful for the huge discount she gave me for this camera. I remember clearly how she told me to put it to good use, and I did just that. Excited to explore the world, we set off on our first trip to a place far north, a place that I could potentially see the magical northern lights. We went on our trip to Fairbanks, Alaska.
You got friends over here?
No, I just decided, why not take a trip here?
Really?
And check it out. Upon arrival, I was greeted by the super cold negative 30 degrees wind.
Thanks for the boots, Leonard. And this place is nice and it's really white. So I'm gonna see what I can find around here.
As someone who has lived all my life on a tropical island, this was absolutely thrilling. The crunchy thick snow, the cabins decorated with beautiful warm lights, and the blue hue that envelops the sky for the most of the day made it feel like the Christmas wonderland I had only seen in movies. I went on a snowshoe hike, had a failed attempt at chasing the northern lights, and visited a museum made entirely out of ice. I even made a friend who was kind enough to bring me to one of the most famous restaurants in Fairbanks, where I tried bear meat for the first time.
There's Rudolph.
As I wandered through Fairbanks with my trusty travel buddy, I captured moments that today still fill me with pride. The soft glow of the watering hole, the grandeur of the Museum of the North, and the rugged presence of a musk ox against the snowy backdrop. Each click of the shutter was an experience saved, a moment captured in time, a moment to be remembered forever.
Hi guys, I am documenting my trip.
Unfortunately, due to COVID, our second trip was almost 2 years later. This time, we were set to explore Scotland with my friends as part of our delayed graduation trip. However, things didn't go as smoothly as the last one. I was supposed to leave Scotland alone, transiting through Amsterdam for just a few hours before meeting up with the rest of the gang in Scotland.
I'm not sure if I can get to Inverness tomorrow. I'm not sure whether I
A
can.
wildcat strike hit me off the blue, and I was left stranded with many other passengers from the many cancelled flights that day.
Amsterdam. Not quite sure what I'm supposed to do right now.
On top of that, my luggage did not arrive with me as I flew to Scotland the next day.
It's gotten worse because my luggage is lost. So apparently it just didn't arrive in Inverness and I'm not quite sure where it is right now. So I was supposed to get my luggage today.
Despite the anxiety, I had my Sony a7 with me, recording all the unplanned adventures, all the unexpected journeys, and all the moments not written on our itinerary. Our adventure to try out the special menu items from McDonald's in Amsterdam, our very first visit to an airport lounge, and even an early morning drive just to collect my lost luggage.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
That's it.
Check. Yeah, this is
That's the right one. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Excellent. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
These experiences are my core memories, ones I'm glad I recorded for good because of my Sony a7.
My luggage is here.
Despite the hiccups, we were still able to explore the beautiful castles, lakes and landscapes of Scotland, capturing more photos for my prideful collection.
What? We have almond coffee
but he
here.
doesn't drink almond. You want to try it?
Alright, let's go.
The reflection of the mountains of Loch Einoch, Ness Point Lighthouse during sunset, and the early morning glow of Edinburgh. We went on to explore more of this amazing world together. Ras Al Khaimah of UAE and its beautiful pearl farm, Bangkok, the land of Pad Thai, New Zealand, where we saw the most magnificent landscapes, Australia, the place with the cutest wildlife, and Japan, where we explored the most beautiful small towns. Unfortunately, just like an elderly man, my Sony A7 was starting to not see as clearly as before. As he reaches the 11th year of his production, his weakness was starting to show. His 1080p video resolution, the slower autofocus, and the lack of log format became more and more apparent.
You can't follow! I'm a water.
Also, my body was no longer as lively as before. He could not go on long trips without additional support, or sustain long hours without getting feverish. A part of me is sad to know that someday my time with my body will end. Nonetheless, I'm absolutely thankful for my Sony A7. With him, I was able to capture all these beautiful memories that I can relive again and again today. With my body, I saw and learned more about this world. With my body, I had company while shooting time-lapse of the stars in pitch black darkness. In fact, with his limitations, I was forced to learn how to work with the camera basics, and with him, I improved tremendously. Of course, as a novice, there's still so much for me to learn, and hopefully with the help of a new friend, I may continue to see the world.
Right, we are in a curve.
Thank you, my Sony A7, my best travel buddy.
So pretty. So weird, so flat.
Crunch, crunch.